Tracy Nance, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Please talk about yourself. I love your name or your business. And let's tap in. And guys, note takers are money makers. So if you got notes, take them out, because remember, the biggest expense of life is what you do not know. All right. So let's get it. Let's get it. All right, Tracy, all you.
All right. First, I want to say thank you to Santiago for inviting me. I appreciate it. And I want to thank all of you that showed up today. I appreciate that also. Like you said, my name is Tracy Nance. My company is called A Million Bookkeeping. I've been doing accounting and human resources for 20 years now. So I have a regular job where I'm the human resources director, and I used to be the assistant controller, which is the second person over all the accounting department. So now I'm over part of the accounting department, and I'm over all of the payroll department. And then I also have two businesses, A Million Bookkeeping, which I started a couple of years ago. And I do all of the bookkeeping, and I help small businesses get established properly so they could be ready for some funding or business credit. And then I also have Affluence Properties. I own rental property. So I get very little sleep, just so you guys want to know that one right there. But I'm here to help you build a solid foundation for your business. This is one thing that I got involved in. One of my clients is a mobile detailer, and I helped him. He was already established, but a lot of the other mobile detailers were not. They were just doing it, out the pocket, and didn't have good credit, didn't have any business credit, didn't have a credit card. And so, to be honest, this is my fourth business. I had a catering business, I had an event planning business, and I had a wedding planning business. All of those I would have stayed in if I knew how to structure it properly. When you do not know how to structure your company properly, you get frustrated and you just walk away. And that's what I did. If I had known earlier what I know today, I think I'd have 5 businesses right now, getting income from every single business. What I'm trying to help you all with today is I want to let you know to structure your business properly. If you don't do that, you are leaving money on the table. And what I mean by that is SBA loans, business credit. We need to stop using our own money for our businesses. That's not why we got into business, is to use our own money. We got in it to make money and then have that money make more money. That old saying, use other people's money, that's what they mean when it comes to your business. So the 3 major common business structures is sole proprietorship, limited liability, which is an LLC, and also S Corp. There's other 2 that I did not put on there because I didn't think that you would be interested in it. I'm going to tell you what it is anyway. There's also one called LLP, Limited Liability Partnership. Nobody ever hears about that one, is because that one's normally for people that need doctorates or certificates to have a business. And those are normally the doctors, lawyers, psychologists, anything that you have to have a certificate to be in business. And normally, the best example I can give you is when you go to a doctor's office. If it has a LA Medical Center and they have a lot of doctors in that medical center, I guarantee you they're LLPs. Because even though they're all under one roof, they all are equal partners in that company. So they all have to be. So what it is that if one of the doctors gets sued for malpractice, it doesn't affect the other doctors. So that's why I wasn't really going to talk about that one. But still, one of you might become a doctor one day, so you need to know that one. And then you have the C Corp. The C Corp is mainly for the ones that you can invest in. The best one is like Starbucks, Zoom, also Microsoft and Amazon. Those are the ones that you invest in and get dividends from. But those, of course, are the 2 you may never know. One of you might be in Amazon one day. You may never know. The first one is sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship is when you are literally the business, the worker, the bookkeeper. That means one person by itself doing everything. This one right here is good for if you're just starting off, because when I take you to the other steps, that costs a lot of money. Sole proprietorship, The only thing that I could tell you about sole proprietorship is there's a very thin line to it being your personal and your business. And what I mean by that is if you decide to be a sole proprietor, which is good to start off with, that means your bills and your company's bills are exactly the same as far as the taxes are concerned. If anyone gets hurt, they will not sue your business, they will sue you. So it's a very thin line between that one, but I recommend that if you're just starting off and you want to put your business registered somewhere. Sole proprietorship, you have to register with the county that the business is going to be in. So for example, LA County, you would go down to the county recorder's office, and that's how you would register your business under that one. That has a lot of steps to it, but it at least puts your foot in the door to be a business. So that's the main one right there. We can go to the next one. Limited liability company. This is the one that we all need to at one point have. Limited liability means that your company, which becomes an entity by itself, is what I mean. So that entity by itself means that company has its own and you work for that company even though you started the company. Does anybody get what I'm saying? I don't want to confuse anybody. You good? Hey, power couple, Chris and Yaz. So when you open a limited liability company, that's open through the state that you live in. That keeps your personal and your business completely separate. So for example, if you do have an issue personally, and I have one with one of my clients, child support, they were trying their best to get a hold of his company. They couldn't. His company was based by itself. His personal was his personal by itself. So they could not touch his business when it came to child support. Now, he was an employee for the LLC. Well, they could have got through the LLC through that because he was an employee there. But as far as touching his business at all, they couldn't do that. The limited liability is a lot of money, especially for the state of California. You're looking at about $800 a year. Is it worth it? Yes. Your company and you are completely separate. You have to have members in that one. You could be one member. You can have a family member be a member, and then you have someone that's going to manage that one. This is the one that I highly recommend. And also to go back on sole proprietorship, because the state and the county sees it as one person, you don't get a lot of write-offs. You're losing so much money if you stay with sole proprietorship too long. Is anybody a sole proprietor right now? Nobody? Okay, good. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. If you want to get your foot in the door to start your business, to have it registered somewhere, then I please do that. It's a lot of steps to do it, but it's worth it because you have your foot in the door and they're going to recognize you as a business, and that's what you want. But limited liability will separate any liability your business has with your company. And let me give you one more example about limited liability. If you decide that you want to buy a car, you can't buy a car under sole proprietorship under your business because they don't see any difference in it. You can buy as many cars as you want under your limited liability and it will belong to your company. So if you get in a car accident, well, they can't touch you. They'll sue your company. And at some point, when you have a company and they know that, the first thing they want to do is sue. You know, we're in the sue state. So that's how limited liability keeps you separate. And the expenses that you can write off is remarkable. And that's what you want. It's money in your pocket.
Well, one thing Tracy wanted to add, Todd brought up a good point. And I know you said California, $800. Each state has their own different prices, right? He said Florida.
Florida might be $100.
Yeah.
I think Colorado's $25. Hawaii is $75. California happens to be the highest ever. I don't know why there's a high. I'm sorry?
Sorry, is that why people sometimes move out of the country or out of state, move their business there because of that fee?
Not
And I notice a lot of my friends that they have businesses and they'll move out of that, like out of state because of that fee. So
that is one reason. The only thing that I could say personally about that was, say, for example, you have your business based in California, and California is $800. Say you want to go over to Nevada where it's $125. Your company's based in California, but you're going to have the LLC in Nevada. Here's the problem. You have to have an address in Nevada.
All right.
They have to send your mail somewhere in Nevada. And then once they realize the mail's coming back, then they're going to look deeper into why did you open that down in Nevada and you're here in California? Don't get me wrong. You can do that. You can have an LLC wherever you want to, even in different states, but you have to have an address that they can send mail to because they will send you the mail.
And that's when a virtual address would be, right?
Virtual addresses, I'm going to give you all my personal opinion on that one. A lot of problems that we had, especially with COVID, is because of a lot of fraudulent. A lot of frauds. That right there is just an open door to fraudulence. So whoever thought of that probably did think of it for the best of everyone else. What's the best way to do fraud? To have a fake address. Right? So if people want to try that, that's really up to them. But after a while, they're going to really have a heavy hand on that virtual address after a while. Because that's the best way to sneak in some fraudulence in that one. Oh, you're welcome. S Corp. Oh, let me go back. The state of California, if you're a single member LLC, single member, you can be one. But if the state of California sees you as a single member, they'll treat you like a sole proprietor. They will take your money and still limit, not as much as you were actual sole proprietor, but they will limit some of the expenses that you can take off. So if you want to go that route, then can we go to S Corp?
Yes.
S Corp. You could be a single member in S Corp, and that's fine. They actually see you as a bigger business when you're an S Corp. Why is that? I have no clue. You still pay the same amount of money. The only difference is the S Corp fee is due in March. The LLC fee is due in April every single year. One time they were waiving the fee for the first year, but that went out the window after a while. But that current year is when those fees are due, not the tax year. The one good thing about this too is S Corp and an LLC, you're not cemented in that. What I mean by that is if you decide, hey, this isn't working for me or my company's not going anywhere and I'm spending all this money, you can cancel your S Corp and your LLC. And all they will do is charge you for whatever's left for that particular year. So you don't always have to stay in it if you think it's not beneficial to you, but it is beneficial to you. You may not think so because the price is so high. It costs to be the boss. So who's an LLC? An S Corp. Oh, we got to sign you up. What are y'all waiting for? Let's go to the next one. Build your business. After you make a decision of what you want to be, if you want to be a sole proprietor, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a foot in the door to get your business registered somewhere. If you want to be an LLC, that's fine, and an S Corp, that's fine also. But once you make a decision of which entity that you want to get involved in, you have to get an EIN number. It's an employer identification number. That I can best describe as your business Social Security number. You can open up bank accounts with that. You can open up credits with that. You can open up lines of credit with that. They also let you know to not lose that. That's like losing your security card. It's hard to get it back. It's hard for them to do whatever they have to do to get it back. And they make you jump through so many hoops if you lose this number. If someone finds that number, gets a hold of that number, they can open up business credit. That's how important that is. I know people think, hey, it says employer identification number, same as a federal tax ID number, EIN number. They have a lot of different names, but it all does the same thing. Once you have that done, you have to apply for a Dun & Bradstreet account. Dun & Bradstreet keeps track of all your business credit. So say, for example, after you open up your LLC, you get your EIN number, and say you decide to open up something with a vendor. right? Once that vendor starts applying that, hey, we have some open credit for this particular company, they'll put that on Dun & Bradstreet. So you're building business credit through Dun & Bradstreet. And just so all of you know that some of these companies will ask for your Dun & Bradstreet number. Because to them, like, okay, they're really into business now. They've picked their structure, they have the EIN, and they have their Dun & Bradstreet. Okay, now they really mean business. And that's exactly how they want to see it as business. The next thing you have to do is, because the bank will ask you, one, if you're an LLC, they'll ask you for your state of information that has your LLC identity number on there. They will ask for your EIN number, and some will ask for your Dun & Bradstreet number. Then they'll open you up a business checking account. And what I advise you to do, if you have a bank, not all banks, wherever bank you want to do, every bank has a business account. So whatever bank that you're banking with right now, if you have a history with that bank, you've been there for a while, then I would go there to start my business banking account. But understand something, they're going to ask you for all that information before they open your account, because they want to make sure, again, that nothing's fraudulent, that everything is real. COVID had really messed it up for us. It really has. All the fraudulent behaviors, it's terrible. Can we go to the next one, please? This is the problem that I'm having with all the people that do their bookkeeping. You have to keep your personal and your business accounts separate. I'm going to say it again, you have to keep your personal and business accounts separate. That goes for credit cards, checking accounts. Don't have everything under the same vendor. Don't do any of that, because at some point, it's going to be hard to tell what is business and what is personal. It's going to be very hard to do that. Not everyone, take that back. Majority of the people that I help ignore this every single time. You can't get gas for your grandma and your cousin and your niece and your nephew and then put that as a business expense. No, because they check. I shouldn't say they check. What they do is, if there is some variation when you do your taxes, you never want them to red flag you. Unless the gas prices went up, then that's a different story. But if one month you're spending $2,000 and the next month you only spend $200, well, that's a red flag. So we have to, again, you have to keep that separate. Your checking account separate, your credit card separate, everything has to be separate. It makes it so much easier to follow through if you do that one. You have the next one, please? Are you ready for your business credit? The first thing they do, I hate to put this out there, but I love American Express. I love them. And they love businesses. Chase loves businesses, but American Express love businesses. This is the thing, if you do go as a sole proprietorship, they do not recognize you as an actual business. They will put you down as personal. If you have an LLC or S Corp, what they'll do is they will take that, because that is considered a business, your EIN number. But if you have no business credit established yet, then what they'll do is they'll do you as a guarantor. So what a guarantor is, for example, $1 million bookkeeping, you're all set up, your LLC is correct, your EIN is correct, we check you on Dun & Bradstreet, but you have very little business credit. So what we're going to have to do is use you as a guarantor. What that means is, if $1 million bookkeeping can't pay this credit card, then you guarantee that you will pay this credit card. That's what a guarantor is. Okay? But your personal credit has to be I'm not saying 800 perfect, but it has to be perfect enough for them to take a chance on you. But if you're just starting out, you might not be able, of course, you're not going to have a lot for your business credit, but American Express will report your business as that you have an account with them, and then your credit begins to go up. Let me also let you know this too. As just a regular person like ourselves, we have to have an 800 plus to be considered perfect credit. Okay? But in business, you can have 100 credit score and you're perfect as far as your business credit score is concerned. One FICO wants 300 in business. One wants 100. Do you see the variation of being a business and being just a regular individual? It pays to do that. So that's important. I'm not saying the credit, I call Santiago credit guru, and I mean that with all my heart. That's one dude that's going to get your credit straight. He is the one that can help you on that one. If you have decent credit and you want to go out and take a chance, I say go ahead and do it. Because once you begin to open up those credits, they come like rain in the mail to you. Everybody wants you, and they come in your business name. And it also looks great if you have a credit card and you have employees on your credit card, credit score goes up in your business because they see you have employees. Everybody good on that one? All right, can we go to the next one, please? We talked about Bill. We got the credit cards. You have a couple of vendors. One of them is called Uline, Uline. Other one is called Quill. Uline is normally just for like towels. I have to go back to Mobile Detailer for towels and soap and scrubs, right? They will start you off with credit just using your EIN number. That's a foot in the door for you. They won't give you a high credit, but what they'll do is they'll give you 30-day net, and that's what you want from your vendors. Quill, same thing, even though it's pencils, pens, paper, I don't care what you do. Get those two vendor accounts open. They will report you to the credit bureau for your business. You have these two lines open. They don't give you a lot. Even start off with $100. Again, you want to put your foot in the door. And it's going to look good on your business credit that these two open you up at 30-day net, no discounts. And all you use, no personal, just your EIN numbers. They don't ask for your one asks for the Dun & Bradstreet, but that's okay. But your EIN number, they'll start you off just like that. And order $100 worth of something and then pay it off in 30 days and do the next thing in the next month. And the next thing you know, your business credit is going up.
Just want to add something regarding that, Tracy. So one of the few things I started getting on Uline and Grainger and stuff like that, I got a whiteboard because when I started doing videos, I did the whiteboard, right? So what she meant is net 30. You buy it with your EIN and you don't have to pay for it for 30 days.
Right.
So you have a 30 days to build that business credit. And one fun fact, Sam's Club will give you a credit card, but you do need your Dun & Bradstreet number. So a lot of people, they try to go cheap. They're like, oh, I'll just do my LLC myself or yada, yada. They don't do the Dun & Bradstreet. But the Dun & Bradstreet, that is like your credit score. Okay, that's your Paydex score. Go through it with it, but yeah, just to add that. But,
no, he's right. And I forgot. I'm in the accounting mode, so I think everybody already knows what 30 net means. Sorry about that. That means your bills were due within 30 days. 30 days. And he's right. Sam's Club. I tried that personally myself with Sam's Club. I didn't like that bank they had. But that's Tracy's issue, nobody else's issue. But you're right. Sam's Club will also do that for you too, to start off with their credit card. And not even that, everybody look at open a business account with Sam's Club. Open a business account with Costco because you get a percentage off. You get money back. I think I get about $150 back every year. They send me a check. They don't send it to Tracy. They send it to A Million Bookkeeping. Who they send it to. But Tracy spends it. But that's another perk of having these business accounts. You know, they love businesses. They kind of tolerate us, but they love the business part of it. Okay, can you go to the next one, please? SBA loans, Small Business Administration. Who's heard of SBA loans? Okay, there you go. This is so slept on that it's unreal. We don't take advantage of SBA loans. They are particularly for small businesses. This is what it was all set up for in the first place, is to help them. That's why a lot of I have to keep bringing up COVID. During COVID time, when they had the PPP loans, they only gave it to businesses. Did everybody ever question why they did that? Because your business keeps the economy going, and that's what they want. They want you to keep buying. They want people to keep selling. They want to keep doing that. They didn't offer any of us PPP loans. They did. I mean, they offer other stuff, but these PPP loans was that one. SBA loans is pretty much the same thing. SBA is for you to expand your business, to start your business, to get your business off the ground. They love women. They love minorities, right? They want to see you prosper. They want to see you get that one. But if your business is not structured properly, they don't even give your application a second look. They don't. It's from the state. It's funded, right? But you don't go directly to them. They have banks that they how can I explain it? If you do sign up for SBA loans, they won't say, okay, come to us directly. They'll send a few banks in your neighborhood that will process the paperwork for them. And then that's who they get the money from. Okay? By any chance, if you if you cannot pay that SBA loan back, let me go back. I know somebody right now, just so you guys can know what I'm talking about. I know someone right now that has, I think he got between $80,000 and $90,000 SBA loan. Can somebody tell me what you think he pays a month for that? Just give me a guess. And next. $400 a month on $90,000. That's all he pays. Somebody give me an idea how many years he could pay that back. 32 years. So who wants SBA loan now? $90,000, $400 a month, and they give you 32 years to pay it back. Because they want you to do it. You can use it to start your business, expand your business, buy a truck. I need more employees. I need a bigger payroll. And matter of fact, once you get it, for example, say it's $80,000 and you only use $40,000 of it. They're not going to ask you where you did that money. You can take that money now and say, you know what? I decide I want to go into real estate. I'm going to use $40,000 to now own a duplex. And all you're doing is paying $400 a month back for that. If your business is set up properly, if it is not, they won't even look at your application. Matter of fact, the bank will let you know, don't even waste their time if it's not done that way. Now, for some reason, if you decide that you can't, your company went under and you cannot pay them the money back, SBA loans will pay the bank back and then they will try to get the money from your business. But that, come on, we have 32 years at $400. We got this. Next one, please.
Hey, that's some heat right there, guys. Hey, you got to be set up.
Small, they don't realize how important bookkeeping services are. They don't. They have no clue how much they made last quarter, how much they made last month. They have no clue what their expenses is. And the things that I get with a lot of people that I help, they'll just say, hey, you know what? This is what happens. I made $90,000 this year, right? You have no employees. So you have people that kind of help you every now and then, right? You don't have any major bills. This person had no major bills. He had no employees. I mean, he kept a minimum of a lot of his expenses because he kept using the same thing over and over again. But he made $98,000 that year. He was negative $100 in his bank account. That's poor bookkeeping on every level because you have no clue how you're spending your money. Your bookkeeper will let you know, hey, what's going on here? What's happening here? Why don't you have this money? Now, that person also didn't have his business structured properly. And because they had a certain amount of money in their bank account, what he didn't realize is you may have $10,000 in your bank account, but you have $9,999 worth of expenses that you have out. He had no clue. Because he would just spend.
Yeah, but I actually stand for the whole thing.
I'm sorry, one more time. What did they say?
I think she was unmiked by accident.
Oh, so he didn't know. I have one client that I sort of help now. He spends about $5,000 a month just on advertisement. He only makes $4,000 a month. And when I try to explain to him, okay, then which one is doing the best service for you? Let's keep that one, and then let's get rid of the other ones. He won't do it because he figures that one of these will make a big breakthrough for him. okay, then you're just going to bleed your company to death. So bookkeeping service is very important just so they can know where they're at, what they can do with their funds, where am I bleeding, where am I doing best at? And even for the ones that are doing very well, say at the end of the year, you made a profit. And if you're an LLC and you make a profit and you have 2 members in there, for example, you have 2 members, you made a profit. With the LLC, you and the other member in that LLC split that profit. That profit goes onto your personal income. So all profits and all losses go to the members. And that's fine. If you have some extra money that you have, that's great. A bookkeeper will let you know, hey, this is your profit right here. Let's go ahead and spend $10,000 of this. Do you need a new truck? You need a new van? Do you need a new refrigerator? I mean, what do you need so that we can down your money at the end of the year? Bookkeeping is very important. Okay, next one, please. Business expenses. Let me give you another example. I have a gentleman right now. He bought a car for his business. He said, this is not a business car. I said, okay, perfect. Let me see. It's in his uncle's girlfriend's name. He pays the monthly car payment and he pays all the insurance on it. He wants to write it off as an expense. How many in here think that's going to work? It's not. It's not going to work. That has to be under your business name in order for you to write off any repairs. I take that back. If you have to write off the insurance and you want to write it off the monthly car note, it has to be under your business name. If you happen to buy a car, for example, and it's not under your name, but yet you want your business to pay that expense off for you, I'm going to give you some nuggets right now. It doesn't belong to you, and that's okay. That's fine. Then use it in your ads. Take pictures of it. Sit in it. Rent it out for different events. What you're going to do is you as an individual, you have an LLC, and you say, you know what, I need help with this one. What I'm going to do is, if you're a mobile detailer, again, because I got a lot of those, what you do is wax that, wash it. Do all your films on that one. Do your TikToks on that one. Then turn around and send a bill to your business. That's going to help you pay your car note or your car insurance. Use it as advertisement and just bill your company. I want you to understand that you and your company don't click together, right? Your company has an entity and an EIN number. You just have your cell phone security number. So if you decide to bill your business for using your car, it's an expense. You're now a vendor and you help them do stuff like that. And you can do that one. With the sole proprietor, your expenses are minimal because, for example, we're W-2s. I call employees W-2s. That's myself also. If you don't have any children, if you don't have to write off any interest on your home or anything like that, we're very limited to what we can write off at the end of the year for taxes. Sole proprietor is the same thing because they see you and your company as one. You're not separate as far as they're concerned, or you're very thinly separated, right? As an LLC, it's opposite. So you can write off mileage, you can write off gas. I don't remember what it was, state or federal. You can write off some of the dinners. If you go out to eat and you talk for at least 10 minutes about business, write that off. All right. You can also write off uniforms. There's no criteria to what a uniform can look like. It doesn't have to be this long, this wide. It doesn't have to have this and this stat on that. Because if that was the case, Hooters would be out of business, right? So we don't have to do that. So for example, I'll be Santiago on there. So for example, if you decided, hey, you have $100 shirt. Just an example, everybody. You have $100 shirt. How can I write that off? Put your logo on it where somebody can see it. If you have a nice jacket, put your logo on it. Pants, put your logo on it. There's not a requirement to what a uniform looks like. But if you want to count it as a uniform, you have to have your business name or logo on it. You can write off a $200 shirt if your cuff has your logo on it and your business name. And you wore it to a meeting. I don't care where you wore it to. But there are ways you could do stuff like that.
Also jewelry too, right? I have a friend that
He does like multiple detail, and he put he grabbed a pendant with his name on it and his company name, and he said he's gonna write it off.
Yeah, he's right. I was going to say, I knew someone, they bought a Rolex and they wanted to write it off. I told him, good luck. Because how are you going to use that as a write-off? Unless you are
As a write-off.
yeah, unless you're an influencer or you're someone that gives seminars and you have to have a certain outfit. I mean, that's understandable. But like you said, they're a mobile detailer. How are you going to write off a $10,000 watch? If you have a very good business, everybody listen, business tax strategist or a business tax preparer, they can help you do that. They can help you do that. But if you just have your grandmother in the back doing your taxes for you and your business, well, you're just going to be in a lot of trouble. You got to have somebody who knows about business tax. But the jury is, again, that's a good thing. If he does have his logo on his jewelry and somebody is able to see it, he can write it off.
Yeah, he put his logo on his like a mobile detailing company. So he was like, "Yeah, look, I'm gonna write this off." And I was like, "What?" That is on nothing about that. He told
You
me,
can write that off. Look, buy some Nikes and put your logo on the back of the Nikes. You can write off
right.
because that's advertisement. All right, so those ways you can get around a lot of these expenses. All right. Let me tell you what not, and I had this in when I talked last time. I had a gentleman who had all these little amounts in his statement. And I did like $20. They had like cinnamon $20, Barbie $15. I didn't know what that was, right? He was writing off his, what do you call that? His fan. What do you guys call that? OnlyFans. Thank you. He was writing off his OnlyFans. I said, are you kidding me? And he says, well, it's all my business people. You don't have business people that look at OnlyFans, just you do. That you can't write off. You cannot write that off. You can't. And you can. You have a great, hey, Anthony, how are you? You have a great tax person. They can write off your OnlyFans expenses. Matter of fact, I want that tax person. I really do. There's some things you just can't write off. Now, this is another little that I'm going to give you. If you decide you want to do an LLC or S Corp, right, and you want to have your minor child, and what I mean by that is, say you have a 14-year-old and you want them to work in your business. If they make under $13,000 for that year, that child is a write-off for you because you have a child that's your employee that works for you. Your child gets no taxes taken out up to, I think, $13,000 or $14,000. So it's beneficial to have your children, your minor children. Please don't bring a 26-year-old in here talk about how can they not pay taxes? Well, when you find out about them, let me know so I can do the same thing. They have to be minor. I've had people ask me about 20 and 30-year-olds, hey, my son works for me. How could he not pay taxes? Go live in a country where you don't pay taxes. I don't know what else to tell you, but you can't do that. So a lot of things that you think are expenses are not. And the one thing about the taxes, I don't do taxes, and I'm going to tell you why, because the tax laws change month by month, minute by minute, week by week, year by year. I can't keep track of it. 1 minute you can write off your dinners or lunches, and 1 minute you can't. Federal would let you write it off. This will not let you write it off. That's it if you're an LLC or an S Corp. So that's why it's important that you get a tax professional that does business that can help you out with that. One, the goal as far as business is concerned is to not pay any taxes at all. That's our goal. We want to keep our money in our pockets. Right, that's the goal. If you're paying out too much money, people do say if you're getting back a refund, you're doing something wrong. No, you're not. I want to be that wrong, right? But what they do is in your business, you don't get that money back yourself. They transfer it over to your personal. On my property, I had a lot of losses last year because it needed a lot of repairs. So I hate to tell y'all this, but I think I spent $25,000 last year just getting everything repaired. Well, the company doesn't keep that money, right? That particular loss that I had went over to my personal. So I got back $7,200 of my personal last year. Is that something you want to do all the time? Absolutely not. But in the beginning, that does happen. The only way I was able to do that is because I had my business structured properly where I can claim certain things where it could go over and benefit me personally. Okay. I believe if I just would have had it under my personal, I wouldn't have got as much money back. Okay, next one, please. Really quick, payroll. When you are an LLC or S Corp, you can put yourself on payroll. Put yourself on payroll. I'm going to say it again. Put yourself on payroll. Do not put people that help you part-time or people that you have to help you on the weekends do that one. The reason why is if you put yourself on payroll, you will not have to pay for workers' comp insurance. You're not going to sue yourself. Put yourself on workers' comp first. See how that rolls. And then if you get some employees and you start stacking up this money, which you will, then get these other employees on there and then go and get workers' comp insurance. But if you put yourself on there, you don't have to do that. I've never known anyone to sue themselves. None. Or if you do have employees, you could 1099 them. What that means, you have them fill out a W-9 form saying that they will be fully responsible for all of their taxes and everything else. All right? That, because if you don't, you're paying their taxes for them through your business. They're not responsible. Right? The only thing I don't like about 1099s is a lot of people feel 1099 is just taxes. It's not. That's the bulk of it. Don't get me wrong. But you don't realize that when you have a regular employer or you're a regular employee that gets a W-2 at the end of the year, right? If you look on there, you have deductions for your taxes, for your FICA, for your state disability, okay? And also for Social Security. That is taken out of your check. Your employer has to pay those for you through your behalf. If you 1099 the whole time, by the time you retire, you're going to have zero. If you ever get hurt and you have to go on disability, they won't know who you are. So second, think 1099s, everybody. It's just not taxes. There's nothing there. I helped a lady because I could not figure out why she couldn't get disability. She had been in her job for 15 years. When I saw the paperwork, I'm like, well, you've been 1099 for 15 years. They don't know who you are. So no, you can't get disability. You can't Social Security, you can't get nothing. Right now she has nothing. I can't help her. It didn't serve her any good purpose whatsoever. And she owed taxes. So 1099 is not the best route to go. If you can help it. If you can. But those employees that want to do that, that's their business. Mind yours and mind theirs. If you want to do 1099, go ahead and do 1099. But again, if you decide to do payroll, which I suggest you do in the future, don't do it like when you first start off. But later on, put yourself on payroll because at some point they need to see what your finances is personally and your business finances is. Because not everything's going to be under your company. You're going to have a few things under your own and you need to sell that. If you decided you don't want to go that route, well, then a lot of times you need a statement and loss report that I also do. A profit and loss statement. And what that shows is how much your business made the year before, what all the assets are, the cars, the buildings, all the machines, everything. And that's how they go off, seeing if they want to give you credit or not. I don't think everybody should go that route. It's a little bit difficult. Can I do the next one because we're almost done? Beneficial ownership information. This does not work for sole proprietorship. This particular task force was brought up the end of 2022, right? The reason why the government started this task force because they could not find the people they gave PPP loans to. They disappeared. The addresses were fake. The EINs were real. They did set up an LLCs, but as soon as they got their money, they disappeared. So I know if you saw in the news, we were saying, hey, we're trying to find these people to do whatever. They're gone with the money. You will never see them again. So they started this task force called Beneficial Ownership Information. What they do is you have to go and register with them your business. They want your driver's license. They want your birth date. They want your EIN number. They want everything to make sure you're a legitimate business. And how they group up with that, they group up with the bank. That's why it's very important that you have a business bank account, because what they'll do is they'll check all that and then they'll check a bank and see if you're registered with a bank. All right. The bank, once you open the bank account with your business bank account, they also report you to the BOI. They're trying to make sure these companies that are coming up now are legitimate companies, even though it's after the fact. They still want to make sure that everything is legitimate. So they gave you a year. So starting in January of 2023, if you're already an LLC or an S corp, not a sole proprietorship, right? Because that's not registered with the government. Registered is with the county that you live in, right? So the state that you live in, if you have an LLC or an S corp, right, you have to file for your beneficial ownership information. So if you had an LLC starting of 2022 and you still have it, of the beginning of 2024, right? They gave you the whole year to register that. Now, if you're not registered by December 31st of this year, starting next year, it's $500 fee per day. Not per week, not per month, per day. They've given you a year. Okay, just all of you know that I set up all this for you, and also the bookkeeping. Everything that I talked over today is the thing that I set up for you. I even help people get set up for the SBA loans. I don't write any letters for you, but I'll make sure that all your paperwork together, so when you go to the bank or when you go to them to file for it, everything is set.
Tracy, that's a lot of good gems right there, and
Many.
I'm annoying everybody. I was fired. That was really good.
Real quick, guys. Sometimes people want to be like, we get a lot of clients. Oh, I want to start a bit. I want to do that, but do they really want to start a business operating incorrectly? Because they're leaving money on the table, like you mentioned, and we want to go for that business credit. One thing that Tracy didn't mention is business credit is where you can hide credit utilization.
Yes.
Because business credit doesn't report to your personal credit. Right. Now, there's some credit cards that do. Capital One, that one reports. But for the most part, business credit, you max out a card for business purposes, and it will not report to your personal. And I know firsthand, starting a business, not the proper way, I took a lot of L's. Had I known what I know now, I would have done it from the jump. Right? And then you guys, I know, I get it. Sometimes we try to penny pinch, and we're like, oh, well, let me just do this, right? I can't hire Anthony right now. I can't hire Tracy right now. Let me just do it myself. And 2 years from now, you could have been way farther ahead had you done things properly. And remember, it's investing in yourself, right? It's investing in your circle, right? But you have to connect with people that know what they're doing, right? Tracy's been doing this for 20 plus years, right? So her expertise, she's there to set you up properly. Okay. She's there to set you up properly. So when it's time to get that SBA loan or get that business credit, you're set up properly, because she said your business has to be set up properly. And then there's business credit cards you can get with no documentation, right? And it's just personal guarantee, what she said, PG. Okay, Amex is one of them, right? And on Amex Business, you can put what are your projected sales this year.
Right.
You guys get what I'm saying? I know some people is like, well, I don't make 200 grand or 100. Well, as a business owner, I'm always aiming big, right? I know some of you guys, same thing, right? We don't want to think small. So how much are you going to make this year in your first year? First year in business, how much do you guys want to make? Aim high. Hey, I want to make 500,000 this year. 250,000 this year. That's realistic, right? Aim high. If you shoot a little low, right? Hey, so be it. But you want to aim high. Because if you shoot low, oh, I just want to make 50,000 this year, and you hit your goal, okay, cool, big congrats. You know, I'm clapping for you. But what if you would have said 250 and you hit 100, right? And that's where we're at, right? That's what the school community is for. That's why I like surrounded like-minded people. And let's be real, right? You guys got to pay to play.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in life is gonna be free, right? You can only get certain handouts. And I talk because I've lost a lot of money. I've invested. I've got people scam me, right? And I'm sure some of you guys same thing, right? It just happens. But you have to connect with people that know what they're doing. They're gonna put you in the right path, right? That's why I focus on giving more value than asking for something in return. You guys get what I'm saying? Give more value. Hey, you know what? I did that trick, bro. I got 10K, 20K, whatever it is. Awesome. You took action. Okay. Now what's the goal? Some of you guys that got a 10, 20K card, you guys want a business, but you guys don't want to invest 1,000, 1,500 in setting up your business properly or whatever the price is. And that's how you have to think like an entrepreneur. Like, hey, I have to take risk. I have to invest in myself. Okay. If it doesn't work out, I'm still clapping because you still tried.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to say something powerful and it's going to hit somebody. Where do you think the biggest real estate is in life? Where do you think the biggest real estate? What do you think is? Put it in the comments. Yeah. In the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because there's so many ideas in that graveyard that died. So there's billions of ideas, right? I'm sure some of you guys probably thought about PopSocket before PopSocket. But PopSocket was the one that put that into an idea, right? Like there's so many ideas out there, but ideas are bullcrap. Ideas are nothing. Don't come at me with ideas. Come at me with a plan. Come at me with a business formation. And same thing with Dan Fleshman says, right? Like if someone tells you, hey, I want you to invest in my business. Okay, cool, man. Send me your business action plan. How many people really have a business action plan? Not many. And that's why you need to start a real business, right? Like starting it the proper way. And like I said, her contact info is right there. You know, screenshot this, take a picture. Do you do any consultations, Tracy, or do you charge for that?
Dude.
Oh, you
But you all want to add on there too, Santiago, is when you get to, he's right, but he's the credit guru, right? So when you do get to your limit to your business credit card, they call you up. Miss Nance, you need more money? They don't call us up like that on our personal credit cards. Matter of fact, they shut us down. So I forgot about that one too. They do that. Once you get close to it, they want to give you more. They don't want to decrease it. But when it's your personal credit like that, they want to decrease it because they think you're overspending. Right. American Express, I love them.
Sorry, do we like 2 or 3 questions in the chat?
I do.
Drop 2 or 3 questions in the chat. I mean, I don't want no one to just unmic and speak. So just drop it in the chat and I want to get to them. But let me see. Let's say if you guys have any questions, okay, I want to make sure. Okay, drop the question, and then I'll pick 2 or 3 from the chat, and then like I said, let's see. You got like 2 or 3 people that got questions, but so just drop your question in the chat, and then I'll just read it off to Tracy.
But I'll do consultations, and they need my help. That's what I'm here for. We're here to help everybody. So
Okay, cool. Oh, that was like a statement, but no, it was. Says, I'm a business owner. How can I reach Tracy? I need a consultation. iPhone 3. Yeah. So iPhone 3, her number's right there.
yes.
I'll put in the chat for her, 213-566-1506. And like I said, if they're coming from school, Tracy, just take care of them. I know you will, but I just
I will.
let them understand. Okay, so
Thank you. I'm iPhone 3. I appreciate that.
iPhone 3. Thank you for being here. iPhone 3. I love it. I love it when they're iPhone 3, Android 2.
I'm sorry. I got to figure out a way to put my name on there. My fault. I'm sorry, but I appreciate it, both of you. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
He said, I started a company with a friend years ago, but we didn't dissolve of it correctly. Should I dissolve of it first before I start another? I'm having a hard time trying to.
Well, it depends. How did you set it up? Is it a sole proprietorship? Is it an LLC? Is it that depends. I'm not sure how you set it up. I understand what the say, for example, it is sole proprietorship. You couldn't have a partner with that one. You can't have one. If it's an LLC and you haven't been paying any of your fees, you need to look and see if there's any fees in there. You can always cancel your LLC. Just send a letter to the Secretary of State with all that information and that you just want to delete it. They don't ask any questions. They don't have no problem. Only problem that you may have is if you haven't paid anything in a while, there may be an issue there, but you can always talk to them. They may be able to waive some of it. But you can't always cancel an LLC. That's not a problem. The problem is if you owe them any money. One thing, when you cancel an LLC or an S Corp, it's done. You can't bring it back or reinstate it. It's a done deal. You have to go back and apply all over again. This is the other thing, real quick, I forgot to tell everybody also is you can have up to 10 different companies under your one LLC and only pay that $800 one time. One. They don't all have to be under the same thing. Say, for example, you're a mobile detailer and you want to start a car service, or you want to start a landscaping. It's not a problem. All you have to do is just apply for it's called an NAICS number. That indicates what industry you're in. They all have to have their own numbers. That's it.
Okay. Got another question real quick. This is a good one, I think. I mean, because people just sometimes they don't know. I'm working on structuring towing business property. Maybe should I start with a C Corp or S Corp? I guess you need more info on that, but that's a question that person that mentioned.
That one right there, that's a good question. Not a C Corp is when you have investors.
Got it.
So you start off with an LLC, right? Because especially being a towing company, you want to make sure that that's not involved anything with you in there. So you have to make sure that it's separate, especially when you're dealing with people and you're towing their stuff. So I would start off with an LLC. Later on, you can go to an S Corp just by filling out one little bitty form. It won't.
I have a quick question. I'm sorry, I'm Daniel Turcios. Santiago's been working with me with my credit. Obviously, my goal is to get the Navy Federal credit line by the end of this year.
Okay.
Because I have followed this other gentleman called Derek Whitehead. He talks about how I could get a shelf corporation that doesn't have an EIN. Once I get it, I put a social number on there, EIN, so I could get a business funding instead of just making an LLC like from scratch. I'm buying a 2-3-year-old business to get bigger funding to obviously like buy a tow truck or equipment that I need for the business.
Okay.
Obviously, I need to structure the paperwork first to do all that. That's why I was curious about that. But obviously, now I have your information. I might have to get a consultation and pay you for it.
The one you talked about, I've never heard of that one before. And I would never, as a business, never use your social. Always get the EIN number. Don't use your social because then it puts you at the liability of everything, and you don't want to do that. So you want to do it with your EIN number, which is a security number for your business, right? Because all of your business. Yeah. And if it's a towing company, again, I would do the LLC. I haven't heard of the first one you just said before, but I would do an LLC because you want to make sure that all the liability of your business is on your business and not you. So don't use your social.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, real quick, I know Tracy's time is real valuable. Her number's right there. Like I said, I'm going to drop it one more time. 213-566-1506. text her, call her, and looking forward to building more with you guys. Tracy, you want to leave them with a powerful quote? Anything that you think that has helped you in your investments, has helped you in growing, and just anything that they can leave with?
No, you already took it already, because I was going to tell them that the best businesses and the best ideas are buried in the graveyard. So don't take your special gifts with you. Use it. Oh, this is another one too. There was a man. It's not gonna be long. There was a man that loved basketball. I don't know if everybody heard this before. He loved basketball. He loved it. He was great at it, right? But he never decided to go professional with this. So years later, he dies. And he asked God, hey, who was the best basketball player in the world? And God said, you. He goes, what do you mean, me? I never played. He said, that's the point. If you would have played, you would have been the best. So all you have to go out there and just play. Take that chance. Take that opportunity. You just never know where it will turn into. A lot of times fear keeps us from doing what we should do. Entrepreneurship, I've never seen a millionaire clock in and out.